Okay, let's get into this mode.
Hi everyone, so welcome to my channel. My name's Kalis Rex, and we are going to be looking at some games that I've got over the last couple of weeks. And I don't usually spend over £50 for a game, so these games are all under £20. Some of them have probably been out for a couple of years. Some of them are quite newer titles. So yeah, I'm always on the hunt out for cheap games which are kind of good quality, or even if they're not, even if they're slightly indie games, alternative games. I'm very much into turn-based RPGs. I like puzzles, I like platformers, so it'll be a very good variation. I also like horror. I quite like horror as a genre. So I've got a good mixture here today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the games that I've got, and what I'll do is I'll show you a video first, a trailer of each game, and then I'll show you the box in and how it looks and the prices I paid, and just discuss it, and we'll take it from there. So let's go with the first game, and that will be Heroland. And that's Heroland, guys. So it is a turn-based battle system, and basically I haven't played it yet, so I've got two copies here. I actually got a copy for the PlayStation 4 and I got a copy for the Nintendo Switch, and these are the Noble Edition even. And so they come with some stuff inside, some little figures, a little bag. I don't know if you can see on the back there. So it's a nice little box. And for the PlayStation 4 version, I actually paid $10.95, which for a special edition, and with the contents inside, I thought that was a very good price. And I think I got this one off the game collection. But the other one here, I paid $16.37 for it, and that was off Amazon.co.uk. And if you don't want the special edition, you can also get this on Amazon for $8.95. But basically, from what I can gather, you are a tour guide, and you're on this island. It's kind of like a theme park, and basically you take the guests around and they battle, and you kind of like top them up with items. This is what I've gathered anyway, so I'm really excited to play this one. I kind of like how they use like the pixelated art for the characters, and then slightly different for the backgrounds and stuff and scenery. So it's really up my alley. I love that kind of style. I love pixel art, so I think this is going to be a great game and a great addition to my collection. My collection's quite small so far. I haven't got a massive amount, but what I've got are games that I really do enjoy and love playing, so I'm really happy with the collection I've got, and one day I'll have to kind of show you and go through. But there's a lot of turn-based RPGs that I've got in there. So yeah, for under £20, I think this is a good deal. And I hear it's got good ratings. So if you like the look of it, check out Heroland. So the next game I've got is In Nightmare. So that is in Nightmare. I'm really liking the look of this. I love the perspective. It's a kind of overhead bird's eye view perspective. It looks like it's a good like puzzler. So if you're into puzzles and solving puzzles, like I used to love like the Tomb Raider series. Not so much the newer games, but the original Tomb Raider is still one of my favorite games. So I love the little puzzles that you have to kind of solve as you go around the environment. So this looks to be quite like similar in that kind of like solving puzzles, pushing blocks, going on ledges, but also it kind of adds a eerie atmosphere, and there's a bit of horror involved, and it looks very, very well presented, and I think this is going to be another great game. So I paid $14.95 for this on Amazon as well. Most of the games I've got today I bought on Amazon. If not, the other great site to go on is the game collection. I think that's .co.uk. But basically, if you go on there, you can get some really, really cheap deals. If you can't find something cheap on Amazon, go to that site because you can get some really good deals on there. So if I haven't got any other prices on this bit here, so I'm guessing I couldn't find it for any cheaper than $14.95, and I couldn't find it anywhere else for under £20. So I've checked the prices today on Amazon, so yeah, if you're interested in this game, go check it out. It's under £20 at the minute, and looks like another great addition to the collection. So yeah, check it out, guys. And let's go for the next game. So this is Cristales.
Nevertheless, I am here to guide you on your journey.
My name is Cristales.
There are some things you want to know. This world is filled with incredible magic, but also powerful danger.
How adorable!
They won't get past us. This is a real fight.
Matthias!
Quickly!
You'll need to be prepared. Here, the forces of good and evil fight to control the past, present, and future. Gather what allies you can, no matter where you may find them.
Great. So I think that looks like a fantastic looking game. I think from what I've gathered, it's got a few mixed reviews, but for me, I think this it's another turn-based battle system. From what I can gather, the screen is split, so you do things in the past, the present, and the future. But I grew up with anime and cartoons, and I just love the presentation, the aesthetic of it. It looks very unique for a turn-based game. So it's very different from just a Final Fantasy. This looks its own unique. It looks very good. So if you like anything like that, check it out. I've got it for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if you can get it on the PlayStation 4. I think it is just for the Nintendo Switch. So I did pay $14.99 for it, and I checked today and it's sold out on Amazon. They haven't got any more copies. But if you do want to try and find it for under £20, maybe not new, but refurbished secondhand, go to CEX, and they're selling it for £10. So you can either go in store and get it for £10, or I think they charge like £2 for delivery. So in total, it would be like cost you £12 for the game. And if not, I was looking on eBay, and there's another website called base.com. I think base.com, they did it for £18. And eBay, it's between like, people are selling it between £18 to £22. So it's slightly over £20. But yeah, it's obviously since like last week, this game's been super popular, and the prices have gone up like since I was looking like last week or the week before. So yeah, check it out if you're kind of like thinking whether you should and get it. I get it now before it jumps up. If not, you can always buy it like on the online store. But if you like physical copies, I know with a lot of the Nintendo Switch games now, they're just doing a code in the box, which I just don't like the idea of it. It's a waste of plastic. Why pay for a piece of plastic? Like, it's not the same as getting a cartridge and putting it in your console. So yeah, so if you want like a physical copy with the cartridge, check out CEX or eBay, and I'm sure Amazon will get it some more in at some point. But yeah, that's Cristales, so yeah, looks good. And the next game, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We are going for Dissidia NT.
光は我らと共にある。俺自身で決着をつけさせてくれ。
みんなでかかれば一瞬だよね。
どんな試練も乗り越えてみせる。行くぞ、風の赴くままに。
未来のために戦う。
星よ、答えを見せろ。俺のそばから離れるな。
誰かを助けるのに理由がいるかい？
Cool. So that's Dissidia NT. Now I've got my copy here. So here's my copy. I think the disc is slightly loose in it. I can hear it. But it's going for dirt cheap at the minute. I think you can get this game easily for under a $5. So yeah, the game collection, they're selling it for $4.95. Amazon, they're selling it for £8.6. But eBay, if you scope out eBay, they're selling it from like £4 to £5. I'm sure you could probably like even get it for like £3 or something. So it is going really cheap at the minute. I did play the open beta when it first kind of came about, and to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I have played a little bit of Dissidia on the PSP, and I like them more like one-on-one. With this one, it was more like having 3 characters against 3 characters, and I don't know, I found it before quite messy on the screen, and even looking in that trailer, I like things quite crisp and clear, so I don't understand why there's numbers flying about. It'd be easy if it was just a health bar and you just see the health bar depleting, so I don't understand why numbers have to be everywhere. It's too much stimulation. But for £5, and if you like Final Fantasy, which I do, it's nice to see all your characters and get to play and maybe unlock some characters. Like, I have to kind of try and see if I can play with Tifa, and if Aerith's in there, that would be great. And yeah, so I'm doing it for the characters more than anything. And you know, actually, I think there might be quite a good story mode to this, so it might be worth checking that out. Anyway, from the open beta, I didn't really get to see much of the story side. So yeah, so for a £5, you know, give it a go. And it's a good one to add to the collection if you haven't got it. You can't really go wrong for £5. So, and it's Square Enix, and yeah. So that's Dissidia, and let's go on to the next one. This is Slay the Spire. So that's Slay the Spire, and again, it's fairly cheap to buy. I paid $5.99 for it. I know that CEX are selling it for £4 second hand. eBay 8 to 10. I'm sure you can haggle and get it down to a £5. But yeah, if you like card games, like I like to play like Pokemon, and also on my iPad I've got a game called Ascension. and sometimes these games are like super like peaceful to play. If you don't want to play a shooter or anything too challenging or builds up your adrenaline, you just want something kind of chill and relaxed to play. I thought the music sounded really nice in this. It looks like a very chilled game, you know. Yeah, if you haven't tried card kind of turn-based battles, I'd give it a go. I'd give it, and I think the aesthetic of it, the enemies, the bad guys look pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's got a really nice look to it. And you know why I've bought so many copies, you know, for a $5. It had such high ratings as well. So it even says on the back here, amazing 9 out of 10 IGN. So it's had a really, and even on Steam it was 9 out of 10. So it's got really good reviews. So, you know, if you're into anything like this, I'd definitely check this one out. So yeah, that's Slay the Spire. So this is Indivisible.
Alley-oop! Just lively! Believe in the thing!
Gotcha! This is the beginning, feel the sting of justice!
Burning innocent people's homes? That's your idea of a perfect world?
A village girl like you couldn't possibly understand. This is part of a larger plan.
So there we go. That's Indivisible. I think that looks really good. Now, for me, I have seen this game about, or I've seen this cover for ages. It's been in the PlayStation Store, and I've always skipped past it, and I've seen it there, and I've always thought it was one of those, not to be funny, but some of the indie titles that are kind of not always the best. So I never actually looked at the trailer or kind of gave it a chance or even tried to look at it. But when I was just Googling and looking for like turn-based combat games on the PlayStation 4, you know, this was quite highly rated, and looking at the trailer and listening to other YouTubers about this game, it isn't just like a just turn-based combat. There's a lot going on in here. It's like a platformer, and there's puzzles. It's a whole array of different genres. So I think, and even like in some of the trailers, you can see they've got some good like outtakes. So if you're into anime, they've got some good little cutscenes. So I think I'm going to really enjoy this game. And so I've got a few other games. If you go to game, they do like a 3 for 2 section. Now, getting pre-owned doesn't bother me. You know, most of my games are all pre-owned. I'm not expecting to get everything all new and sealed and keep it sitting on a shelf and collecting dust. I want to play these games, and I might keep an odd couple sealed, but for most of them, I want to play these games, but I still want to keep them good. But yeah, so I got this one pre-owned. It was $7.99, but I got it as part of a 3 for 2, and the other two games, they were like $4.99 each. So I've probably got this, you know, maybe half price or something. You know, if you divide it between them all, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So looking today on the internet, you can get this game for $8.95 on the game from the website The Game Collection, which I mentioned earlier. If not, do the same as what I did, get it for 3 for 2 at Game. If not, you can also find it for £8 refurbished at CEX. And if not, try eBay. You know, it's good just to put these things saved in your search list, and these games pop up all the time, and you can always do some bidding and get them a lot cheaper. That's what I do. So yeah, I'm sure you could probably pick this game up maybe from £5 to £6 probably if you scour the internet and kind of do some deals. But yeah, check this one out. I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to pop that down. And where are we up to? Okay, the next game is Prey.
This is Morgan. The year is 2034. I keep having this dream. I'm just staring into the black between the stars. There's something there. I know there is. I can't see it, but it sees me. It sees everything. You know what I'm talking about. Or you will soon. This is Morgan. The year is 2035. Please listen. This isn't a dream.
There you go. So that's just a short little snippet of Prey. Now, I really hadn't heard about this game till quite recently. And, you know, I'm always looking out for horror games and stuff like that. So I was just Googling different horror games and this just came up. And when I looked at like the full trailer and different screenshots and things, I actually thought, wow, this actually looks like a pretty good game. If you like anything like Dead Space, I think this will be right up your alley. And it's by Dissidia, who does like the Witcher series. So it's made by a good company. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be quite a good game. So I've got this as part of a 3 for 2. It was $4.99. If I didn't want to do the 3 for 2, it was $4.99 anyway. So it's under £5. Everywhere I've looked on the internet, it's going for dirt cheap at the minute. I think this is one of those hidden gem games that like not many people have talked about or know about. But if you like a bit of like an action shooter, horror genre, and space, then you should check this game out. I think it looks pretty cool. I haven't plugged it in. I haven't put it in yet. But I'm kind of like working my way up to it because I've got so many games at the minute. But this is definitely one that's up there that I really kind of want to get stuck into. So yeah, like I say, $4.99, £6 at CEX, or if you do want a new copy, it's £8.56 Amazon.co.uk, and even still, that's, you know, for under £9, that's a good price. I think this is going to be one of those hidden gems in the future. So yeah, check it out, guys. So the next one is Rage 2. So that's Rage 2, and the reason I'm smiling is because this is the one I've been playing most recently. So I got this as part of the 3 for 2. It's $4.99. I've really been keeping my eye out on this game to get it for a cheap price, and I haven't actually played the first Rage because I know there was a first Rage, and this is obviously the sequel. So I never played that, but if you like films like Mad Max, then this is going to be right up your alley. And I know there is a Mad Max game, which I also have never played, so I should probably check that out. But this is just, it's pretty good actually. If you want to just get stuck into a shooter, there's a little bit to get your head round. Like the controls are pretty easy, but like... yeah, it's a fun and interesting world. I did this really weird bit, this like tournament bit the other day, and when I went in this room, there was this guy kneeling on the floor, crawling around, and he had this tail coming out of his butt, and it was kind of like, what the hell is going on in this game? It was really weird and like, but you know, I think like I've played a bit of Fallout as well. It's got and BioShock, so it's got that kind of like. Some of it is a bit like weird and quirky, and you're like, what the heck is going on? But I like the mix. It's open world. It's nice to see all that desert land, driving around. You've got cars bashing. You got these gangs on the roadsides, and you know, if you get out of your car, you can have a battle with them if you want to. But it's really quite fast paced. So from what I've done so far, I've probably played for like a couple of hours of it so far. But you have to kind of clear out these areas to get to these arcs where you can kind of level up your powers and stuff like that. But they're kind of usually guarded by these kind of gangs and stuff like that. So you have to clear out the area. And it's actually quite like fast paced, and because there's like so many of them, you have to kind of really be strategic about where in the base to kind of like infiltrate it from, and like how to pick them off. And like you can either go in guns a blazing, or you can kind of like think about it, throw a few grenades and do different things. But like, yeah, it's quite fast paced and action paced, and I like the aesthetic. I like the kind of apocalyptic worlds, that kind of and it's pretty gruesome. The opening's quite gruesome. This guy gets his head bitten off, and this main lady, she gets stabbed right through the stomach, and blood's coming everywhere. So yeah, it's pretty gruesome. But I think it's quite a fun game. For $4.99, you can't really go wrong. So if you want to pick up this game, it's a good game, but like really cheap at the minute. Like it's like £5 everywhere. £5 CEX, £5.51 on Amazon.co.uk. Yeah, I'd get into it, guys. Like, well, I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to keep going with it. And then it was either this or Prey I started on first, so I'll do this first, and then I'll go on to Prey next. But yeah, I think it's a really good game. Graphically looks really good as well. So yeah, I really recommend in Rage at the minute, Rage 2. So the next one is No Straight Roads, or NSR.
The age of rock is over.
That's where you're wrong. The power of rock is stronger than ever.
A band called Bunkbed Junction has been slowly claiming our districts.
We need to take action.
But there's nothing we can do about it.
There's always something we can do, Zook. We're not stopping till we claim our fate.
And bring change to the system.
Yeah, that's it.
See that X? It means you're done.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about you take all these X's and shove them up your...
There you go. So that's No Straight Roads. And we played a bit of this the other night, me and my partner, and it's actually quite a good game. If you like couch co-op games and you're looking for something to play. So we've played It Takes Two together and played it most of the way through. We didn't quite finish it, but still really like the storyline of that. And so if you like anything like that and you want something to do together, and it's got a bit of a story to it, this is a really nice game. Aesthetically, it's really like pleasing to the eye. I love like the lighting in this, how they've done the city and how they walk around the city. It's really nice. I really enjoy how it looks. The storyline is pretty easy to follow. They're this band called Bed Bunk or something or other. But basically, music is what powers like the city and this main corporation. There's this big blackout, and so they're kind of like doing a disservice to the rest of the city, and it's a bit weird. And because they're like a rock band, like they don't think rock's like popular and is good, so they kind of try to cancel rock, and kind of like, yeah, it's weird, but like a kind of simple story that kids would probably really enjoy, and it's just kind of got a fun aspect to it. The only thing I would kind of say is it is good, and how you're meant to battle is kind of meant to be like to do with like the rhythm and beat on the music, so you kind of like time your kind of attacks and stuff like that. But I kind of don't think it's like executed that well. It's not like quite like, you know, something like Guitar Man or Parappa the Rapper, where you kind of like press the buttons at the right time and it really feels like you're doing it to the beat and you've got to be precise. This kind of doesn't feel like you really have to do it to the beat. It kind of is kind of an element, but it doesn't really feel like it really matters that much. And it's kind of like, that's the only thing I would say was a little bit disappointing about this. But I'm only at the very beginning of the game, so maybe it does kind of get a bit more intense. But I didn't feel like it was precise enough. Like, you kind of want to feel that reward of like timing it really well. But that's the only little criticism. To be honest, I only paid $4.99 for it from Game. I don't know if it's jumped up now, but if it hasn't, I'd go into Game and just check it out, find the copy. What I find so funny is about Game, so they do like pre-owned games, which are pretty cheap, but then they do like the new games, but they're pretty grubby, the boxes. They're basically a pre-owned game, really. They're quite grubby. I thought when I went to the counter I was going to get a new copy, but no, I just got this copy, and it kind of looked worse than some of the pre-owned games I'd got. So yeah, but for $4.99 I can't really complain. If it was like a more expensive game, I probably would be a bit like, have you got any other copies? But you know, that's fine. So anyway, so that's on the PlayStation 4. The Games Collection, they do it for $12.95. CEX do it for £10, and Amazon are doing it for $12.95, which is all quite surprising, because I've last week and the week before I was seeing this for really cheap, like £5, £6. So must be going up again this week. So I'd check it out and see if you can get a good deal. I'm pretty sure you could probably get it for £6, or you know, maybe even £5 if you do check out Game. But yeah, so that's No Straight Roads. It's a nice little indie game, really, really nice, and the voice acting's quite sweet, and yeah, I really love the aesthetic. So yeah, if you want something different, try out No Straight Roads. Where the Heart Leads. So that's Where the Heart Leads. Now, I really don't know a huge bunch about this game. I've just seen it about. Like, I think when I've been going on YouTube channels and game halls and different things, watching those videos, I'm kind of like, maybe I should check that out. But I really don't know that much about it. Sometimes you just come across something like, I really like to take a chance on indie games, because there's so many of them that I really love, and especially like kind of story driven games. Like, I really love Undertale. That's like already one of my favorite games. I only, it's been about for quite a few years now, but I've only just discovered it this year, and I was just like, this is a really great game. So from what I can gather, this is quite a heartfelt story. It's about family, and it's very story driven, and the choices you make, a bit like Life is Strange, they make a difference, so you can get lots of different alternative endings and stuff like that. So for replayability, I think you've got so much choice in this, so it will be an interesting play. So I can't really say much about it yet until I give it a go. But I thought, I'm going to give this a chance, because it looked like it was kind of like a game that probably hasn't produced many copies. So it's going to be one of those hard to find games in the future. So I thought, I need to get this now before I can't find it. And yeah, I'm not a very digital person. I don't really buy a huge amount off the online store. I just don't believe in it, really. I've got a few deals off PlayStation Store, but kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's so unreliable. Like, my console might break, or I might get kicked out of my account, so I can't access my games. And you know, with storage on my PlayStation, I'm always having to delete a game to then put a new game on. So I kind of like having a physical copy of things, just so, you know, what I do kind of miss and what I play a lot on is like my Xbox 360 or the earlier consoles, because you can just bung a disc in and away you go, and you don't have to worry about spending 2 hours to download it on your console or anything. So I kind of like having a physical copy, so you're kind of just ready to go. And normally with these indie titles, they are kind of a bit less storage and less memory, so they're quite easy to boot up and just go as well. So yeah, that's where the heart leads. If you want to get a copy of this, the game collection is selling it for $12.95. CEX are doing it refurbished for £10, and you probably have to put £2 delivery on that, so it's about £12. Same with Amazon, $12.95. So that's the cheapest it's going for. That's how much I paid for it. Yeah, but always check eBay. Like I say, you can probably find yourself a deal. But yeah, I think that one's going to go quite quickly for some reason. I just feel like that's one that hasn't got many copies, and I haven't seen it about very much. Not in store or anything anyway. So yeah, that's where the heart leads, and let's go on. I've only got 2 more games left, so let's have a look. Bloodstained. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, because I think there is a sequel now. But if you can tell from the trailer there, it kept saying new and old, and from what I can gather, I think the developer, the guy who created this game, was getting a lot of feedback saying that the game's good, but aesthetically it wasn't pleasing to the eye. So the developer actually went back and kind of redid it all, kind of mastered it and made it a lot more presentable. So I really admire for someone for doing that. But he obviously had a passion and love for this game, and you can tell. I really love the actual boxing, the actual front and design is actually really, really stunning. But yeah, if you like anything like Castlevania, that kind of side-scrolling platformer, I really like this game called Sundered. And I haven't really played much of Castlevania, but that's the last kind of game where I've played and you kind of just bash things and just and you fight all these massive enemies. I'm not sure if that's the same in this, but yeah, this does actually look really good, and I'm willing to give this one a try. I recently got Death's Gambit as well. It's like a pixelated game, but that looks stunning to me. So I think I'm gonna have a kind of, I play a lot of like turn-based stuff, but I feel like I'm kind of getting more into kind of platformers, and I'm gonna give them more of a go. So yeah, and I've seen this on the PlayStation Store for absolutely ages, and it was always like held its price for some reason, even though it's probably not like a AAA game. It always was like £19 in the sale or something crazy in the sale. It's like, wow, this game's still like not coming down in price. So that's why when I saw it, I bought it for $8.95 off the game collection. I was like, I need to buy that because that just never comes down in price. And so I've got a physical copy now. And yeah, so if you guys, I checked the website today, if you guys want a copy as well, it's $8.95 from the game collection, £10 refurbished from CEX, or exactly the same on Amazon, $8.95. So, under £10. All these games that I've shown you today are all under £20, and most of them are nearer the kind of £10 mark, which is why I kind of buy a load. I buy at least one or two a week, because I just think, wow, these games are, you know, I'm not prepared to pay like the £50, £60 mark, and even games are going up £70 to £80. I just find that like, nah, that's just too ridiculous. Like, I love gaming and I love games, but I'm not prepared to pay that much. I'm kind of a bargain hunter, so a lot of these games I've been looking at over like a couple of years, and kind of like, okay, now's a good price, now's a good time to buy them. So yeah, so that's Bloodstained, and now I've got one last game to show you guys. It's Persona 5 Strikers.
I must warn you of the danger threatening to consume the entire world. Someone plots to lure you into a disastrous fate. Confronted by this evil will, your own cries out.
Let's do this!
Look out! We've got it coming!
Showtime!
Leave it to me!
Go! Sudden personality.
There you go. So that's Persona 5 Strikers. So if you're looking for a deal of the day, this is, I think, the deal of the day, because Amazon have reduced this by quite a lot already. I think they had it, you could see it was slashed from £29 to £16.95 today. I've looked and I must have found it for £12 refurbished on CEX, but if you want a brand new copy, I haven't seen anything under £20 for this game. It was all kind of like £30 to £40, even £50. So this is either a brand spanking new game, or, you know, especially with Persona, all the Persona games, the Shin Megami Tensei, they really kind of do hold their value, and that kind of really is frustrating, because I would love to play some more of those games, but they're just so ridiculously priced, and it's kind of just going up and up, especially with like some of the DS ones. They're really crazy priced. So yeah, so I was like, I probably need to pick this up before like I don't get the chance to get it at this price, because these games just seem to like hold their price. And so this isn't like a turn-based battle system. This is more kind of like a, I guess, hack and slash, just a kind of like beat 'em up, kind of go for it, which I kind of like the look of. I haven't actually played all the way through Persona 5. I played like the first kind of like opening of it, and I kind of found it a little bit too much for my eyes visually, but you know, I think I can adjust to it. My partner says it's not that bad. As you get further into the game, it's not kind of all red and black and kind of like that. I don't know why visually that really kind of, I find that jarring for me. There was like a game like that on the Wii called, I think, Mad World. It was all like black and white, and that really was visually like jarring for my eyes. So, but I think this looks really good. Apparently the story is meant to be really good, and in Persona 5 as well. So I've recently just started Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and because I've never played one before, so I was so surprised, you know, the kind of like, yeah, it's really different. I love the kind of like Pokemon style, catching your demons and kind of like having a bit of banter with them. Some you can get, and some they're really hard to get, and they kind of like do or they don't want to, and they make you like pay them money and stuff like that to like be part of your team. It was a really good yeah, just really different. I haven't played anything like that before, so so I know this is part of the same company, the same team, the same universe. So yeah, so I'll be excited to play this and check it out. But yeah, if you guys want to pick this up, $16.95 on Amazon.co.uk. And that is it. That's it for my bargains under £20. So if you enjoyed this video, you know, as every YouTuber seems to say, like and subscribe if you want any more of this kind of content. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for more deals, and I'll show you what I've got. And I can even do a review video once I've actually got to play some of these games and tell you what I really think of these little bargains that I've picked up. And I've got plenty of games behind here. I've got loads of different turn-based RPGs. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, little kind of ones that are off the cuff, I've got quite like a nice little selection of PSP ones and stuff. So yeah, not just your regular Final Fantasy ones. I've got all sorts in there. So yeah, if you'd be interested in having a look and discussing, and I'll talk about them, then I'm happy to do that. But that's it for now, and thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.